I want to lay a few ground rules, or I should say I want to lay down one ground rule before I begin. All right? First of all, Arana Nation is not your mama. And Arana Nation is not your servant either. Arana Nation is not your mama. Arana Nation is not your maid. Arana Nation is not your girlfriend. Arana Nation is not your lover. Arana Nation is not your doctor. Arana Nation is not your Arana Nation is your general, okay? And though you subscribe, and though you support, and though you donate from time to time, I'm still your general, okay? And I ain't afraid to rebuke you when I think you're going out of line. And I'm rebuking some of you guys now. And you guys need to accept it, take it. Listen, this is what we are doing here is we are a revolution. And every revolution has a general. I'm your general, okay? You can either like it or you can go on back to mama's house. But I'm your general. I ain't your mama, I'm your general. And generals rebuke their soldiers. One thing I have to say, don't write comments which tell people to watch other channels or suggest people watch a different channel. That comment will be erased. And if you repeat the offense, you're going to get blocked for a time. I find it disrespectful. It is uncourteous. It's just common courtesy, okay? It's common respect. It's manners. It's common decency. Do not come to my channel and say, hey, watch this guy or watch this guy. No. When you're in Arana Nation, you're in Arana Nation, okay? When you watch Arana Nation, this is Arana Nation's time. You can go on Facebook and tell people to watch this. Don't come here and tell people to watch another channel. That's disrespectful. Don't come to my house and tell people, and suggest people go to another house. That's disrespectful. So now that we've gotten that cleared up, let's talk about Gerald Butts, Justin the Tacky and Mackdaddy Trudeau's special advisor. Now he's back, you know? And it's funny, even though Jody Wilson-Raybould, the former Attorney General of Canada, gave ample evidence and had solid proof that Gerald Butts and Justin the Tacky and Mackdaddy Trudeau actually pressured her to take a blind eye, look away, don't prosecute SNC Lavalin, because SNC Lavalin was being investigated for corruption and other scandalous offenses. And she was the Attorney General looking to lock some SNC Lavalin executives up. She was going to lock them up. And Gerald Butts and Mackdaddy said, no, don't do it. Yeah, they broke the law, but take a blind eye, turn a blind eye. Because SNC Lavalin is the bank account for the Liberals. They get a lot of their money from SNC. That's their bank account. That's their debit card. That's their credit card. So they're getting money from a criminal organization, so they don't want the government to attack them. Because that's otherwise, where are they going to get their money from? Jody said no. And even though there is proof that Gerald Butts was behind pressuring Wilson-Raybould to not go after this criminal organization, Justin Tacky and Mackdaddy Trudeau has the gall to bring him back in his inner circle. Now, Canucks, I want you all to think about this. Why do you think the Mackdaddy would actually dare to do this deliberately and publicly for all the country to see in this country? And that's because he knows that there's something wrong with Canucks. We do not have pride. We are complete prostitutes. I've said Canada is a prostitute. Canada is being sexually trafficked. And Justin the Tacky and Mackdaddy Trudeau is the Mackdaddy. He is the pimp. He is sexually trafficking Canada to every single country, every single special interest, every single foreigner out there, completely turning a blind eye to the needs of Canadians, doesn't give a damn about Canadians. He's opening up Canada's legs to every single country to screw us and to shaft us. That's why I call him the Mackdaddy. And he knows that Canadians put up with this. And have always been putting up with it since the 60s. So he knows that he's going to bring back this crooked criminal Gerald Butts back into his inner circle for all of Canada to see, because he knows Canadians don't care. They don't. And I'm telling you, he's going to get reelected. I'm telling you, first of all the other candidates are terrible. Andrew Scheer is no good. Maxime Bernier is a fraud. He's a fraud. I want to say it again. Maxime Bernier and the PPC, they are frauds, fraudulent, con artists. I don't care who has a problem with me saying that. Jagmeet Singh and Elizabeth May, they're just naive. And Mackdaddy he's going to get back in there, I'm telling you. Because that's how Canadians are. There's something wrong with the Canadian. But the media is now saying that this could bring the SNC Lavalin scandal back into public light. I don't think so. I don't think so. First of all, I don't think most Canadians actually even paid enough attention to SNC Lavalin. They heard the raw details. But the Mackdaddy knows that most Canadians still probably don't know who Gerald Butts is. And that he was the one. Listen, you guys need to understand something here. Justin and Mackdaddy Trudeau, the tacky-headed Mackdaddy Trudeau, he may be a pimp, he may be a Mackdaddy, he may be the son of Satan, he may be the prince of hell, but he's a fool. He can't even put on his underwear without Gerald Butts' assistance. He couldn't even buckle his belt without Gerald Butts' assistance. If Gerald Butts was not around for the Mackdaddy, Justin the tacky-headed Mackdaddy Trudeau right now would be shining shoes on Yonge Street. He wouldn't be anywhere near the Prime Minister's office. He would be shining shoes on Yonge Street right next to Union Station. So, really, a lot of the things that you see coming out of Justin the tacky-headed Mackdaddy Trudeau's office, a lot of that has Gerald Butts' fingerprints on it. Now, the Mackdaddy agrees with it because, hey, he's a Mackdaddy. Any way for him to, to exploit this country for his benefit, he'll do it. But he doesn't know how to do it without Gerald Butts. That's why I say that Gerald Butts is the Mackdaddy's Mackdaddy. You see? He's the one who taught him how to be a Mackdaddy. Okay? So he's the big cheese, Gerald Butts. Now, he also has a Mackdaddy as well, but we won't get into that. That's dark stuff. So this whole SNC Lavalin thing, where the government tried to pressure the Attorney General of Canada, who, by the way, was a strong, smart, successful man. I know she's a liberal, but she had the gall. She probably beat Gerald Butts. I mean, no wonder his one eye is bigger than the other. She probably beat him. She beat him. Whoop him. And he's afraid to admit it because he knows if he gets Wilson-Raybould locked up, when she comes out of jail, she'll beat him twice as hard. I'm telling you, she beat that boy. But they tried to pressure her to not investigate and go after SNC Lavalin on corruption charges because they know SNC Lavalin is the credit card of the Liberals and Justin the tacky-headed Mackdaddy Trudeau. That is their credit card. So why would you go after your credit card, even if it's a criminal organization? But he's back now. He left. He had to resign because Canadians were getting upset. But Canadians have the memory of a goldfish. They don't remember anything, and Mackdaddy knows that. The Canucks have the attention span of a goldfish and a housefly. So he knows that now that this SNC Lavalin stuff is not being talked about in the news, let's bring back Gerald Butts, because I cannot put on my under. I can't wipe my behind. I can't take the poo stains off of my white briefs without Gerald Butts. I can't do it. I need him. So let's bring him back. Let him teach me some more ways to be a Mackdaddy. Let him help me win the election, which I think he's unfortunately going to win, because the opposition is so foolish. No, there's no good choice in 2019 for Canadians to choose from. I've said that Canada needs to separate, the West needs to separate, Quebec needs to separate, Ontario needs to become its own country, and the Maritime provinces need to become its own country. And by the way, you Yankee Canucks out there who are saying that Canada should be annexed to the United States, or any province in this country should be annexed to the United States, you all are a bunch of dirty, stinking, no good pieces of trash. I rebuke you. You all should go jump in the nearest hell. I rebuke you. I rebuke you. I'm rebuking you as your general. Don't you come here and say that any piece of this country should be annexed to the Yankees. Don't you come up here with that nonsense. If you're a Yankee Canuck, you go on to America. If there's one thing, there are two things I don't like in Canada. One, I don't like Justin Tacky and Mackdaddy Trudeau. And two, I don't like Yankee Canucks. I don't like either of you. Both of you should jump in the nearest hell. Talking about Alberta or Maritime should be seceded to America. You stinking morons, you. You dirty, stinking, hell-bound pieces of trash, you. Go to hell talking about any... America won't get one blade of grass of this country or any province if I have anything to say about it. I'd rather die. They can take me to Guantanamo Bay. They can waterboard me. They can do whatever they want. They're not taking it. We should separate. The country is doomed. The Maritime should be one country. Quebec should be one country. Ontario should be one country. The West should be one country. And the territories should be one country. Independently, do their own thing. No influence from any other country whatsoever. That's what I say should happen. But, because, look, the country's doomed. I've said it. I tried to warn people about these individuals they keep electing, but the Canucks didn't want to listen to me. And now we've got a Mackdaddy who is so bold that he's going to bring back a criminal, and he's a criminal, Gerald Butts. Wilson-Raybould had all the proof in this. She had phone recordings, she had everything to prove that he pressured her to not go after a criminal organization. That is a criminal act that Gerald Butts did. If I try and pressure a judge or a police officer not to go after a criminal and I impede in their way, I stand in their way, that is a criminal organization. He should go to jail with the Mackdaddy. They should all go to jail. But Mackdaddy brings him back and Canadians don't care. They don't. And the Mackdaddy knows they won't care. Because they've forgotten about SNC Lavalin. They've forgotten how that made them feel. They've forgotten that they had a prime minister, a so-called prime minister, who is so low down and lackadaisically stupid and foolish and evil that he would actually try to pressure his attorney general not to go after a criminal organization simply because they give him and his party money to survive. That is their cash cow. That is such an illegal, third world, backward thing to do. It's not even funny. Even the worst czar in Russia wouldn't do something like that. It is atrocious. It is a shame, and Canadians put up with it. Just like they put up with their country being a sexually trafficked prostitute, being screwed by every single country, every single foreigner, every single foreign interest out there. They're accepting themselves to be insulted by having their so-called prime minister bring back this criminal into his inner circle to help him be re-elected as prime minister again so he could continue macking this country. This country can only take so much abuse. Anything can only take so much abuse. Even a dog can only take so much abuse. And Canada has been going through so much abuse in the past 4 years. It's enough to break any country. I'm telling you, this is Canada's last chance. If the Mackdaddy gets in again, and I think he will, then it just confirms my belief that the country is doomed, done, it's over, you'll never hear about it again, and I will do everything I can to encourage separation of all these different entities. The rest of them won't give you salvation. Scheer is not going to give you salvation. Bernier is not going to give you salvation. Singh is not going to give you salvation. May is not going to give you salvation. They're all no good. Scheer is weak. Scheer is spineless and shinless. He'll only do what the big money special interests tell him to do. He's an opportunist. Maxime Bernier is a fraud con artist. Ever since he was a cabinet minister, he was supporting a bunch of different globalist, New World Order-backed initiatives in the Harper government. He wants to sell out our dairy industry by getting rid of supply management. We should mend supply management, not end it. And then we're going to have all the dairy industry from America swamping in here, taking over our dairy industry. They will determine whether or not we eat or drink. And yeah, the Canadians will put up with it because they'll sell out themselves for a quick buck. And Singh and May, they're just naive. That's what we have. You know, the only person who's going to give you salvation is Arana Nation. You listen to Arana Nation, this country will be a superpower. This country would put Russia and America in the ash heap of history. This is the Arana Nation.